We back with another reflection on the Daily Vedantic. And the last few episodes, we did some questions from the community. So I've got a few more. I guess that each episode has led to a few more coming in. You could write in a question to our Instagram, Daily Vedantic, and some underscores in between the words. But I think if you type in the Daily Vedantic, it should come up. You could be one of our, couple thousand followers, and you can write in a DM, and I usually get to the questions within a few weeks of them coming in. A few have come in the last few days, and I saw a great one that I don't think I've ever addressed in this podcast project before, and that is on pleasure. So we have Tara. She says, Tara S. She says, do I have to give up pleasure or fun to progress spiritually? Is enjoying movies, TV, or sex incompatible with Vedanta? Tara, you can enjoy it all. In fact, that is extremely compatible with a spiritual pursuit, enjoyment of this experience here. But do it with the presence of your intellect. I mentioned this perhaps 2 episodes ago about this central practical contribution of this philosophy, which is that we have a mind, which is obvious. It's not going to be groundbreaking for anybody to hear, but we also have another internal equipment called the intellect. These 2 inner equipments help us navigate life. The intellect is like the adult in the room. The mind is like a 5-year-old. The mind is our likes, our dislikes, our emotions, our thoughts, our preferences. And the intellect is the capacity to discern. The capacity to discern, well, what should I do in this moment? Even though I have a preference for sex, should I have sex with multiple people in the course of a week? Form physical relationships, perhaps attachments to multiple people in the course of a week. If you could handle that, if you can handle a glass or 2 glasses of wine before driving home after dinner, if you know you can handle it, why not? Your intellect is the capacity to know, to not only see the end in the beginning, but to also discern and know your level. You know what? 2 is pushing it, or 3 is pushing it, so I'm going to stop at 2 glasses of wine. Or you know what? Zooming out, 2 glasses of wine, that's going to really hamper my sleep quality. On average, 2 servings of alcohol can decrease your sleep quality by up to 34%. That's like thinking you got 7 hours, but you got 4.5. So it's pretty significant. It is extremely significant, in fact, at just those levels of, wow, I'm going to get rid of 2 hours of sleep by having 2 glasses of wine. Is that worth it? Then the question, with the capacity to see the end in the beginning, with the intellect present, with the adult in the room, maybe isn't even 1 or 2 or 2 or 3. It's like, you know what? I love feeling good in the morning more than and getting great rest, more than I like checking some social box of just drinking because other people around me are drinking, or that light buzz. But back to the question. Do you have to give these things up? Movies, sex? No. In fact, entertainment is a great thing. Sex is a great thing. Swami will say that humans need food, water, shelter, clothing, sex. We need these things. Is water good or bad? No. But can you drown? Yes. Is food good or bad? Do we need food? Yes. Can you die of... In fact, I think the 3 leading causes of death are related to undisciplined approaches, immature approaches to our relationship with food. So, are these routes to pleasure and fun, are they enemies to spirituality or progress in spirituality? No. In fact, it's the other way around. Progress in spirituality allows you to actually enjoy the world vastly more than the person that has no compass, spiritually speaking. Even that factoid of 2 servings can disrupt your sleep quality by up to 34%. That is knowledge that might allow you to say, you know what, I'm going to forego 2 hours of a buzz to have 14 hours of feeling good tomorrow. You enjoy life more with that knowledge. Similarly, something like the intellect, which its capacity and its definition, my favorite definition of the intellect, is the capacity to see the end in the beginning. Reflecting on that, internalizing that, strengthening that capacity, using that capacity has led to flourishing entrepreneurial career in my life, has led to 10 times the professional success with 1/10 the effort. It has led to harmony with my wife and our 3 little kids, to where we're talking about homeschooling because we just want them around all the time. This capacity to see the end in the beginning and cultivating, strengthening that intellect each day with the 3 practices of Vedanta that I think I mentioned yesterday in the last episode of question everything, don't take anything for granted, study, reflect daily. With that progress made through questioning everything, not taking anything for granted, studying, reflecting daily, with that progress made, life doesn't just get more fun, it feels like you're in flow nearly all hours of the day. This philosophy does not have shoulds and shouldn'ts, thou shalt, thou shalt nots. That's the layers, the rituals, the rites, the codes of ethics. These are the layers that humans add on top of philosophy. These are the layers that we just can't stop ourselves from saying, well, we should perform rituals. There are rituals within the layers of craft that are added on top of this philosophy that 1,000 years later becomes Hinduism. 1,000 years after that, you have the Buddha, who comes and gets us back to a crystallized philosophy. As it said, is Buddhism is Hinduism made for export, as it leaves India and enters China, because you can't export a culture, but you can export conceptual principles, philosophical approach to life. But the rituals that get added on top, there are rituals that you perform in various layers added on top of the philosophy of Vedanta. There are rituals that you perform to rectify a ritual you did poorly. There are rituals that you perform at nearly every aspect of life. These are, and no judgment, but these are cultural layers added on top of a philosophy that, you could get down to, as I said in a previous episode, if you can understand one verse of the Gita, it said that you'd be instantly realized. Swami will say, if you can understand the experience of the dream, then you'll see the absurdness of this experience here and be instantly realized. That's not even scriptural. It's not understanding something from some philosopher on a podcast, much less 1,000 years ago. It's just understanding the dynamics and experience of the dream that you might have had last night. If you can really understand that experience, then we can understand the absurdness of this experience here. To elaborate, it would be like being in that dream, waking up 5 seconds later and being like, whoa, I had all of these perceptions, sounds, this sight, these emotions, and none of it was real. Completely convinced, transcended that dream experience, none of it was real, and then 10 seconds later, but this is real because I can see it, I can feel it. I hear these sounds. Well, this must be real. So you don't need any rites, rituals, shoulds, should nots when it comes to what this philosophy is saying. And again, there are no shoulds or should nots. It's just Have you developed the capacity to see the end in the beginning? Go out and do the wrong thing. As the Buddhists say, every step is a step towards enlightenment. You learn from it. Don't have the capacity to see the end in the beginning. Make a bunch of mistakes. Lie to your boss. Fudge some numbers. Get fired for it. It's cause and effect. It's not, doesn't need to be put in some code of ethics of what will happen. As they say within the philosophy of Vedanta, you're not punished for the sin, you're punished by the sin. You touch a hot stove, you don't need some divine power above you giving you some punishment. You burned your hand. Lie to your boss, destroy that trust. You don't need some cosmic judge jotting a note down. You just destroyed trust with your boss or a spouse. You go and create 5 physical relationships with people in the course of a week. There's no cosmic judge keeping track. According to this philosophy, at least. Take it or leave it. It is just, now you got to grapple with 5 spinning plates of physical relationships that also come with a host of health risks. You watch movies that glorify violence, glorify attachments to fame or wealth or status, and you send yourself a 90-minute message of, yeah, maybe I should pursue these same things. But there's no cosmic judge saying, oh, that's an R-rated movie, you shouldn't watch that. What is so beautiful is with that, and I always simplify philosophy down to clarity. With a developed intellect, a strong intellect, with clarity. Go watch a movie, but watch a really good one. Swami at the ashram loves movies. His favorite movie of all time is Shawshank Redemption, which is one of the best movies of all time. Go watch Shawshank Redemption. Pull out the philosophical truths. Pull out the great storyline. Pull out, just take the mind for a walk. Shut the mind down. He loves John Wick. He's watched the John Wick movies probably 30 times. 98 years old. Watch John Wick. Watch Animal Planet. There's a lot of value in turning the mind off, watching Animal Planet for 2 hours. It's totally fine. You got to take the mind for a walk sometimes. That is completely compatible with the philosophy of Vedanta. Do you want to watch something that's going to destroy your sleep right before you go to bed? If you want to, go for it. You want to go out drinking till 2 a.m. with friends? If that's your level, if you know you can handle it, if you don't mind losing sleep, go out and do it. What are the other examples? And sex, yeah, like I said, it's up there with food, shelter, clothing, water. There's an inherent need in most of us. 1 in 100,000 might not have that need. 1 in 100,000 doesn't need shelter, perhaps. They go live in the caves, the Himalayas. So, there are exceptions to these broad rules, but they're not just not incompatible. They're not just compatible, but watching a great movie, sex with a partner, enjoying music, pleasure. This philosophy says there's nothing wrong with any of those. In fact, use this manual for living to get the most out of all of those and not get caught up in any traps with regards to any of them. So I hope that is a helpful answer to your question, Tara. And if you listeners have any others, shoot DMs our way and we will get to them. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.